Hello, how are you? Happy Thursday. Come on in, say hello. Let's know where you are dropping in from. What's going on? Hi, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I know I'm dancing. Maybe because it's almost, well, maybe it's because it's almost Friday. Hello, Mr. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. 3 days. How are you? Toby's Feet from Houston. Welcome in. Thank you for joining. Hi, Facebook family and YouTube. Instagram from Indianapolis. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Say hello. Let us know where you're joining in from. If this is hi, Miss Abena. If this is your first time, let us know. Let us know. Maybe you just stumbled on this live and like, hey, we're looking shallow. Yeah, happy Thursday, everybody. It is getting cold, like literally. Same here, Mr. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. I hope life has been treating you well. Woke up this morning is like, what? Like, whoever came from New York, maybe Mr. Bennett's people came from, DMV area or something, and now y'all bring your cold. Yeah, we're not ready for it. We're not. It's like I still wore on Tuesday. I still wore sandals to work, and today I'm wearing boots. Like, what the heck? Who came? Go back to where you're coming from. As there is still those immigrants, go back to where you're coming from. I just saw one time. I said, that was about what 5 years ago. I can't remember what the. I was going to use another name, but the person. Let me say the person said exactly. But the next thing was like, well, maybe you should go back to where you're from. I was like, hello, Miss Edna Sanctuary. I was like, well, at least I know how. At least I know where I came from. Do you know what European country you came from? Because you ain't Native American, so you're not American Indian. So we both should go somewhere wherever it is we came from. Would you already one? One like she didn't see you coming. Just asking a question. You said for me to go back. Let's both go back to where we're from. Yeah, I'm crazy as hell sometimes. Telling you, they didn't see it coming. No, but don't even, especially in the wrong day. But anyway, I hope y'all have been keeping warm. It's you've been fighting the sleep. I know you have your hands full, but thank you for joining. Hey, Mama, my mom is on. Yeah, but I'm sheep because I'm sheep then. 𝒊𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕𝒔. And yes, if you're wondering, it's food. It has to be food. What else? But anyway, welcome in, everyone. Welcome to the most positive immigration space on social media platforms. Safest space to celebrate immigration victories and ask questions about new policies with the one and only Sister Lawyer. Because is just me. Oh, you shifting. Thank you, Mama. See how big I smile when I know food is coming. I remember my mom told me that growing up, that my grandmother used to love taking care of me, right? Yeah, because because she knew that I would eat. As no matter how sick I was, I could be puking all over the place. I would feel it back in. I would get well on time. So they love taking care of me. I've always just loved my food. What can I tell you? What can I say? But anyway, hi, Miss Nilechi. How are you? Welcome in, everyone. Let's talk immigration. What the heck is that? Where did this come from? This fly is going to drive me insane. But anyway, if you just joined us for the first time, say hello. Let us know where you're joining in from, what state, what city, what country. We come together as immigrants every Tuesday and Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. Every other time zone, I don't know. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, Google, or be Alexa. One of the three women should know. We talk all things immigration. We celebrate one another. We talk about we share testimonies to talk about challenges, and we motivate one another. And it is a positive space. We do not there's zero tolerance for negative or trolls. You will be blocked immediately. No questions asked. There's a lot of negativity out there for anyone who's looking for that. It's not just going to be here. But anyway, this is Attorney Abisola Adebola-Olaleye, immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. That means regardless of your state of residency, an immigration attorney, no matter what state they're located in, can represent you in any of your immigration cases. We get a lot of questions because a lot of us deal with divorce decree issues. That's a completely separate a matter. Immigration is federal practice, so that means that anyone who's licensed in any state can practice immigration law in any state. Conversely, domestic relations, which is what divorce falls under, is state specific. So unless you are a resident of the state that I'm licensed in like Alabama and New York, then I would not be able to help you in a divorce matter. So usually what we do is we refer people to a divorce attorney in their state, so that that person can help you. And then once you're done, we take over your immigration case from there. So if you need to contact our office, contact us 334-341-4475. Visit our website at olalayelawfirm.com. Like, follow, share, subscribe. All of that will be greatly appreciated. And all y'all trying to start that rumor online with the photo with my client, Mr. Sanctuary, Mr. Bennett, all of you included. God knows where you live, because you just that's how y'all start some rumors. But anyway, if you're joining us for this first time, we have most of the times we have a topic to discuss, and then after that I take as many questions as I can possibly take. Sometimes we do questions the whole night, like we did this past I think we did that last week as well. So yes, God knows where you live. But anyway, let's talk immigration. What we're going to talk about tonight, I-751, going from joint filing to a self-petition. I've been saying, please forgive me, little sisters. No, not forgiving, because y'all just love trouble. We're in study room. I-751, going from joint filing to a self-petition. For whatever reason, I have seen in the last 30 days a spike in our representation when it comes to I-751, especially people converting from a joint filing to a self-petition. And I really do enjoy doing I-751's self-petition in particular. I really don't care to do joint petition. I just feel that unless you have insufficient evidence, but most people actually even do it themselves, so the truth be told. But I do really enjoy doing the self-petition or conversion from a joint filing to a self-petition. So that's what we're talking about tonight. I-751, going from joint filing. Oh, and I think we are on LinkedIn tonight as well. So if you are on LinkedIn, go send us a connect. What do you do in LinkedIn? I don't even know. Make connections and you follow, or like, I don't know, whatever it is they do on LinkedIn. Yeah, that. But anyway, so where to start? I-751. What is it? Most people already know, but if you don't know, which really, you'll be surprised how many people actually file an I-90 rather than an I-751. I've had quite a number of cases that way, where 2 years is up and the couple files an I-90, and then they don't even know that they filed the wrong form until USCIS denies the case. And then they come to us and like, sister, like, when you or deny, we can file something else, because an I-90 is not a substitute for an I-751. I-90 is to renew your green card or to replace it. Renewal of a 10-year green card, replacement of either a 2-year or 10-year green card. But when your 2-year green card, conditional green card expires, in order for you to go to a 10-year green card, you need to file an I-751, not an I-90. So some people actually make that error. So that I-751 is what you file when you are going from a conditional residency status to a permanent residency status. General requirement is that you've got to file jointly with your spouse. That's the general requirement. However, if you have a joint filed petition and things go bad in the marriage, you're locked in one day, you're allowed to come in the next day, you're thrown out in the cold, whatever the case may be, and you've got this petition that's already filed as a joint filing, and you're wondering what other awesome. You see your RF for your green card today. Awesome. I know you've been waiting for that for a while, and you're wondering what options do you have, right? A lot of people stay in that marriage, in that relationship, because they do not know that they have the option to actually convert to a self-petition, even if you started as a jointly filed case. I remember one of our cases, well, actually, I think 3 of our cases so far that were approved within the last 90 days were joint filing that people had filed on their own. And then when one was a divorce case, the other 2 were abuse cases. We converted to a self-petition, and all 3 were approved. So let's tackle what needs to be done. First things first. Obviously, for you to be going from a joint filing to a self-petition, you would have waited. You would have had to wait 2 years, 90, and then file 90 days before the 2nd year anniversary with your spouse, right? You have that pending with USCIS. USCIS has issued you an extension notice. While you're waiting, the marriage ends in divorce. While you're waiting, the marriage, you've been kicked out of the house, and you have this pending petition, and you're wondering, what's the next step to take? First step to take is consult with a lawyer and see what option is going to be best for you. Now, some people actually, and if you're converting to self-petition, you can actually select as all the options that apply to you. You don't have to be limited to one. The reason for that is this: you may have evidence that is much stronger for one waiver basis compared to another. So if you limit yourself to one, unless you're really, really sure, and obviously nothing is a guarantee, or unless you've got, let me not say sure, let me say you've got very, very strong evidence to support one of the waiver grounds, those are the situations where I just select one. If I see a case that it's not really, really as strong as I want it to be, I look at all the options and select everything that will be applicable, just in case one does not meet up with the standard, another one may be able to do that. Example would be you file, you convert to itself. Self-petition is basically a waiver ground, and then you're selecting the extreme cruelty as well as a divorce ground. So if I have an evaluation with you and I see that even though you have suffered abuse, it's just not as strong, but you've got good faith evidence. And then while the joint petition was pending, you had a divorce that was final. In that situation, I just don't limit it to the abuse part of it. I would also request that they consider the good faith, but the marriage ended in divorce option, so that if the abuse extreme cruelty part is not substantial enough, then at least your 751 petition can be approved based on divorce. So next question is, do you need to now submit a new petition altogether? Short answer, no. A lot of people do that, and then sometimes USCIS will send that back to you and say, hey, you didn't include the filing fee. And if you do that, especially because the abuse part of you don't need the filing fee, then you're risking them creating yet another new case and complicating issues. How do you now request going from a joint filing to a self-petition? You're just going to contact the USCIS office where your joint filed petition is pending. So if you look at your extension notice at the bottom left corner will have the USCIS office that's got jurisdiction over your case. Keeping in mind that USCIS transfers cases, like the sea. It's just slow. They just transfer what they wake up and like, you know what, I can transfer in see, cases in Montana because you feel like it. But your best bet is sending the request convert from a joint filing to a self-petition waiver based, either be it abuse, be it extreme abuse, divorce, or hardship, Or if sometimes people lose their spouses and you convert it based on the ground of based on your spouse passing away, you send it to where your case is pending with your additional evidence to support whatever waiver ground you are requesting for. And most of the time, USCIS will reissue. It's not going to be a new one, but they reissue another extension notice that kind of signifies to you that they acknowledge that you have made that request to convert. So that's how you go about it. You don't have to file a new petition. You're just going to complicate things. You put that together. But the very first step you want to take is to speak with a lawyer. Talk to a lawyer, first of all, see exactly what needs to be done. Once you have done that, then you will be able to know exactly. I just remembered something. Hold on a second. Okay. I just remembered something. Lord have mercy, I completely forgot. This is one thing I just remembered something. Okay. So don't complicate it. The first thing you want to do is evaluate, first of all, even know if you can convert. If you're able to convert, what is the best option for you? Is it going to be divorce? Is it going to be abuse? Is it going to be extreme hardship? Depending on what evidence you can produce, that would help to determine the best waiver ground to convert to. You do not need a new petition. It's simply a request, and then attach your supporting evidence for the waiver ground that you're requesting. USCIS, not all the time, most of the time, will reissue you an extension notice, still the same receipt number. If it's an abuse case, for instance, in my firm, and when we convert to an abuse case, I use my firm address as the safe mailing address. So most of the time, that extension notice will come to my office. We got about 3 of that today for those cases. One, we had requested a conversion since February. Why they just going to send us now, but at least they sent it to us. So that's how you go about that. Now, hear me loud and clear. There is no requirement whatsoever that you've got to have an I-751 approved or filed with your spouse. That's the general requirement. But a lot of people are mistaken and stay in very miserable, abusive marriages because they think they don't have a choice. You have a choice. That's why the U.S. Congress enacted that option for people who are in those situations. Nobody again can guarantee you anything. Divorces happen, marriages end, people get subjected to abuse. People are from countries where it's just impossible for them to go back because they will face hardship. That is why you've got the waiver option in the same petition. So do not feel trapped. There are a lot of people who aren't really in relationships because the person is threatening to call ICE or whatever the case may be. Be informed, get the knowledge you need, weaponize yourself with information and know exactly what route to take. A lot of people also, they already know issues happen, and even before the 2-year green card is approved, and then they still stay. Luckily for some people, they consult with me. And for instance, I have someone's green card that does not expire until either March or June of next year. Can't really recall now. The 2-year green card doesn't expire until March. We still have well over 90 days on that. But we just got her green card, Ms. Pinkpay. We just got her green card last week, thereabout, a 10-year green card. We filed, based on abuse back in January, and it was approved earlier this month. When she consulted with me, I remember she was like, "Oh, really? I can file now? I don't need him." No, you don't. And the good thing about self-petitions is you also do not need to wait the 2-year period. If you are filing a 751 based as a self-petitioner without your spouse, you literally can file your I-751 the same day you get your 2-year green card. That's what the policy is. So you're not required to wait. So you can get your 2-year green card. You file for the 10-year green card as soon as you get a 2-year green card. Another reason why it's important to have an evaluation is this, and know what grounds you actually can convert to, is if you are someone who is on the fence or not sure whether you've got enough evidence for either abuse or divorce, sit down with a lawyer, because I've got cases, including Ms. Pinkpay's case, where she was like, I'm, I don't have physical abuse evidence. This is what happened. I only have like one photo or something. I was like, give it to me. What you've told me, I can work with. And an immigration attorney can tell you whether or not you've got credible evidence for abuse. The reason why I usually screen for abuse in self-petitions is to take advantage of you being able to file for your citizenship much earlier than waiting for 5 years. Lord knows if this fly gets in my head, I will be really angry. But anyway, if you qualify, if your I-751 is granted based on abuse, it doesn't matter whether you're still married to the abusive spouse or not. You still qualify as long as the person is a citizen or is a citizen. You are still eligible to apply for your citizenship after 3 years as a legal permanent resident than 5 years. You know how you open the front door and the fly just comes in? Do I see it? Where's mine? Anyway, I digress. You already know that I'm really ticked up right now. So after this live, that fly is as good as dead. It's really as good as dead. But so you can file your citizenship based on 3 years without having to wait another 2 years. Now, if you don't have a strong enough abuse in the case and you're divorced, then that's going to be a case of, well, or you just never had any abuse in the marriage just didn't work out, then obviously you're going to have to wait the 5-year period. But that's usually why I screen for abuse, because we can shave up 2 years of before you become a citizen rather than wait the 5 years. So in a nutshell, you do not have to file the new I-751 if you've got a pending jointly filed case. What you need to do is just sit down with a lawyer, figure out what waiver option you qualify for. Put together your evidence. Affidavits usually always come in handy. Most people would need psychological evaluation. Send that to the USCIS office where your case is pending, asking them to convert from a joint filing to a self-petition. Wait for them to make a decision, and that's usually how that goes. And keeping in mind that you want to maximize your chances of filing for citizenship earlier on. So make sure you let the attorney know what it is that you've endured in the marriage, and the attorney will let you know whether it rises to the level of extreme cruelty or not, so that you can file for your citizenship much earlier than waiting 5-year period. That's all she wrote, people. Is that how you say it in your real language, I think? Right? But anyway, so that's that. The more you know. Hopefully that information helps, and you'll be amazed how many people don't even know that they don't need their spouse to file for their 751. You'll be shocked. A lot of people just are under the impression that, okay, we got to wait the 2 years, my spouse has to file, and then you've got the spouse that is using your immigration status, to extort you. Oh my God, I'm just seeing that you're talking about my situation, but I just joined. Yep, that's it. This is why we do what we do. All right, let's take some questions. Disclaimer, general responses to your questions. Nothing specific to anyone's case. So, and please no repeat questions. Please, we are Ashako. Please don't repeat questions so that we can get to as many questions as possible. Okay. Hi, Mike Johnson. First time I'm in Alabama. Oh, right where I am. Welcome in. And thank you for joining. And please don't forget to, like Ms. Abena says, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel at Olaleye Immigration. That will be very much appreciated. Every Tuesday and Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. Alabama Central Standard Time. That's when we go live and come together as an immigrant family. Okay. Hello, Mr. Isaac. How are you? And don't forget to share. Invite your friends, invite your family members to because I can't, so many people, especially when I had consults, half of my consults come from the videos that I do. People are like, you were talking about my situation. It's like, oh, I got to set up a consultation, talk to this lady. So you just never know. Hello, Miss Deborah. How are you? How long into the 3 years can one file for citizenship, please? 90 days. If you still qualify for citizenship based on 3 years. You can file for citizenship 90 days before the 3rd-year anniversary of you becoming a green card holder. It's not from when you got married, it's from when you became a green card holder. My sister got her, oh, here we go with sister and brother now. My sister got her VA green card September 2022. When can she file for whatever 90 days is before September 2025? Okay. I think it's a light though, but anyway, let's go to TikTok. Okay, let's see. I applied for 2 years foreign residency waiver, but my asylum is approved before waiver decision. Explain what? Your asylum is approved. So what's that to explain? Okay. It's amazing how people even just write questions like you. Anyway, I digress. TV's I'm waiting for green card and I have advanced parole. Can I travel? If you're not a client of mine, I don't ever advise about travel. So as long as you have a general information is as long as you got a valid travel document, then that's your decision to make if you want to travel. Okay. Let's see. None of it from where's that? Is that Ghana? I didn't see that much. Let's see. Welcome in, everyone. There's so many new people today on TikTok. Thank you for joining and being part of our community. Those who are already deported on and appealed again, and it's pending, are they in? So I know there's a lot of anxiety out there, and rightfully so. People are concerned, people are worried of what this orange guy is going to do when he comes in. We as an immigration lawyer community, we know that we would not be surprised if on the first day of office there's a battalion of executive orders. So that week of inauguration is something to be looking out for. But as we've always said, we cannot be worried. We can't be fearful of another man that God himself has created. Should you be proactive about your matter? Absolutely. That's what we know. I've been saying it. If there's anything you qualify for or eligible for anything right now is the time to file it. Not when things now starting, like, oh, no, it shouldn't be could have, would have, should have. No, do it right now. But we just have to wait and see what direction God decides is going. So, but whether or not someone whose case who's been ordered removed and now has an appeal ongoing, I don't see anything that's going to affect that because you're already in proceedings. There's nothing anyone can put in place that's going to take away due process. Due process is a constitutionally protected right, whether or not you are documented. So that's why you have a day in court, in immigration court. So, but don't fear. My husband's waiting for an interview for 6 months now. What should I do? Unless you've got a basis to expedite, he's going to continue waiting. Why have I not met you like 4 years ago? I don't know. Okay, can we just not repeat questions, please? As a mom with U.S. citizen kid, I lost my birth certificate. Is there any other documents I can use instead for a green card? Depending on what country you're from, if you go on the reciprocity schedule, it would tell you what alternate documents can be provided in lieu of birth certificates for each country. So you just go on the reciprocity schedule. Department of State, check the reciprocity schedule. It would give you that option. Okay. What is the EAD timeline with pending I-485 USCIS.gov/processing times? That's where you can get that information. Hello, Mr. Shito. How are you? Okay. Davies, good evening. No worries, Miss Deborah. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the generous information. God bless you. Thank you. And we still, after that, all of that, we still will get people like, why do you charge for consultation? Because I didn't get my education for free. That's why I should even say sometimes. Well, anyway, I don't get those questions. My assistants get those questions, and then it conveys me like, why do people think they should get free information? If you get this information for free, I don't know. This Lydia is the one who deals with most of it. I'm like, I don't. Thank God I don't have to deal with that, because I know that I probably would. Look at my fire, all kind of words like that. Not Nigerians were very feisty, so that's why you have to delegate things like that to people who are much more common than you are. So you know, yeah. But thank you, Timmy Talkberg. I appreciate that. What type of documents needed if you file for your parents abroad to bring them to U.S. for green card and eventually citizenship? I'm a U.S. citizen. You can go on USCIS website to figure that out, so you can speak with a lawyer. Hello, Miss Eagle Proud. I sent you an email earlier this evening from your question. You're going to have to schedule a consultation to discuss that. So you check your email. My I-751 waiver was recently approved. Use the lawyer. Good choice. I will be filing for citizenship next year. Are there questions from my I-751 that will be asked on the day of citizenship? It would depend on what your basis was. But anything that does not have to do with the requirements of citizenship, then I should not. Besides, like documents, because sometimes they use the citizenship application also to now review and making sure that you did not submit any document that can be deemed fraudulent or anything. Yeah. What does it mean to have parole stay program to be stopped, and does it affect people that already have it approved? What does it mean to have parole stay program to be stopped? Parole stay program. I'm not sure I understand what you're asking. There's a person asking why you charge. There's a person asking why you charge constitution fee work for free. Good question. That's a very good question. I'm sure they get paid what they do. I'm not sure what you mean parole stay program. The only program that's been halted right now is the parole in place. That was there for undocumented immigrants, that for people to be able to file the keeping families together parole in place. But that's different from any other type of parole. All right, let's go on Instagram. Okay. All righty. My baby has a basketball game today, so he had two. So I was able to make the first one. Second one, I'm sure they should be done by now. Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, so that's a different program. At least we have a place to go back to. I mean, they didn't chase us away from Nigeria, right? At least the last I checked, they welcome us back. Because I'd ask them, like, okay, so where will you be going back to? Money berry. What's the berry? No, it's not a giant mosquito. No, it's a fly. This is a flight that it's minutes are numbered, not even days, because you already know when it be done and close this door, and it's me on the fly. Especially when the fly is just, you know how flies can really bug your brain. Yeah, it's as good as dead. I'm joining from Ibadan, Nigeria. Checkmate. Welcome. What time is it in Nigeria? It's about 3 a.m. or thereabout. Or what? 4 a.m. I don't even know. How many hours is it? Is it from Alabama? Like Nigeria, 7 hours ahead? I don't know. Something. Okay, let's see. How long is the normal waiting time to get VAR approved? I think I've said this several times. USCIS is averaging 41 months. And one of the things I tell people, especially before I started a new VAR case with a client, and tell them, listen, all of this is great. You qualify, you're eligible and all that. Please understand that if you email me 2 years from now and say, what's going on in my case, Amaja, because I'm telling you from the beginning, you have to be ready for nothing less than 3 years from the beginning. So that's why we're filing advance for, we're filing work permit. So life is not at a standstill, but you're going to have the patience of a saint. You cannot embark on VAR and not be a patient. And we're not, especially Africans and Caribbeans, immigrants, not the most patient group of people you'll meet. I raise my hand because God didn't give me a whole lot of dose of patience. I'm just still learning a whole lot. But when you file for a VAR case, you've got to be extremely patient. So if your case is pending 2.5 years, it is still within normal processing time. It's just that, just what we're saying. It is going to take a while. It is going to take a while, so you're just going to have to wait and be patient. Okay. Thank you, Miss Ernest Sanctuary. Yeah, so you can repeat that. Hello, Miss Favor. How are you? How are you? Okay. Does VAR EAD come with a combo card? It depends on what VAR EAD you're referring to. If you're referring to the EAD you get while the VAR case is still pending, that's not a VAR EAD. That's an EAD based on an I-485. If you're talking about the VAR that comes, the EAD that comes after the VAR has been approved, then that's a C-31 EAD that does not come as a combo card. What comes as a combo card is the C9 category work permit, which is based on the I-485. And obviously you must have filed the advanced parole as well. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying not to miss anyone's question. How soon can I file for citizenship in this case? In what case? In what case? 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓. First time commenting here. I just wanted to tell you you are a lovely person. Thank you. I think so. But thank you. I appreciate that. Hello, Miss Temirayo. How are you? Flies are so disrespectful because I'm sure it's 10 or ends in that office after the session. Yeah, I can take a photo because the disrespect is the one that's just recent. Yeah, and flies. There's nothing that God has created that disrespects you as much as flies. And it's like they taunt you like in your face, and I'm like, okay, no, let's keep going. You are about to find out 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. That's what it is. Sister Lawyer, my vow was approved a year ago. Thankful for God's blessing. Is it a year already, Miss Ellen Sanctuary? It's a year already that I emailed you and called you with the great news. That is amazing. One time flies. See? And then when the VAC gets approved, you don't even know. Time flies. It's 1 year already. How amazing. That is awesome. Thank God. Thank God for his blessings. Exactly. I'm doing very well. Thank you for all you do. Your blessings are awesome. Oh, thank you, Miss Favor. You're daily, I'm not even kidding, daily you're in my prayers, because I know that we're about to smile and celebrate with you in many, many ways to come, God willing. Hello, Miss Busalami. How are you? Thankful for you this Thanksgiving. Yeah, y'all don't start all this mushy stuff, because you're anyway. You've been a blessing from the day we have had that first conversation, and here we are 3 years after, a green card in hand. God will always be your anchor. Amen. 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 I can never forget that first because you were literally sitting on the floor like the whole world was about to crash. I can never forget that look on your face. And she was like, whatever you need to tell me to do, I'm ready to do. But I thank God that he directed our steps. That's what matters the most. Sister Lawyer, I'm going to fight you. What? I didn't you poke. I can't like, why? Why are we fighting? Can someone in an abusive marriage for 3 months file for VAR? There's no set time for abuse. Absolutely. Sit with the lawyer and see if you qualify. What causes VAR work permit approval without biometrics appointment? Nothing causes it. USCIS just decides to approve that before the biometrics happens. If a VAR case is denied, would you advise to reapply? And if yes, does what? If yes, does what requirement? What is the requirement to reapply? I guess is what you're asking. Whether you to reapply or to file an appeal depends on the reason why it was denied, and that's something you consult with a lawyer to discuss. Yeah, I didn't even know it was a year already. Wishes is not just here to learn and see a beautiful face. Thank you. And she going been blessed with a lovely family here. It is a family here, and that's why it's we have to keep protecting them from negative people. There's just too much negativity out there. They listen. In my life, my personal life this week has been quite a roller coaster. And Tuesday and today, I was looking forward to coming here and just it's like it's a therapeutic thing for me as well. Just being able to just forget everything else and just talk about things that really affect people's lives and all that, and listen to other people's testimonies and encouragement and challenges and putting everything at the altar of grace. Nothing like it. She's a God sent to know people that have helped me. God to continue to bless her and grant her more and say, thank you. After doing biometrics, how long does it take to get your work permit? So the one that I tell people that even though sometimes you do it biometrics and maybe you can get your work permit within a week, within 2 months, you don't actually the biometrics does not determine when you get a work permit. Just like this person's question about getting the work permit approved without doing my biometrics, because it happens all the time. Sometimes USCIS would actually approve your work permit before you even get scheduled for a biometric. So yeah. So that one doesn't determine when your work permit is going to be approved. If one has a one-time entry parole, can it be extended due to difficulty getting visa to the country you're supposed to go to? It's going to be a hard one. It's going to be because you're going to have to try to explain to USCIS why you delayed in getting the visa to start with. So I'm not sure that that's something that you can even. And then before you get it extended, if that's even possible, I don't even think you can extend it. I think you're going to have to reapply. And if you don't use it, they probably would not approve. They probably would not, unless you can show that there was something beyond your control that prevented you from using it, and you try to prevent that within a reasonable time. If not, yeah. But anyway, okay. Can my daughter get citizenship through me if I get my citizenship 3 months after her 18th birthday? No. She has to be under the age of 18 in order to acquire citizenship through you. Got a misdemeanor before my green card was approved. I want to go to Mexico. Can I come back? I can't anything about whether you can travel. That's another question. Unless you're a client, I don't make any recommendation on that. How soon will it take for me to file for my siblings as a citizen? Well, 200 years. But in all reality, USCIS is working on cases that were filed in 2007. So basically 17 years. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Will a small claims court affect my process? It shouldn't, as long as if the judgment was against you and you're keeping you're following the court order and you show that, they shouldn't be a problem. General information. What does it mean when an officer says decision cannot be made yet on your application? Exactly what it means. They're not making a decision on your application at that time. That's exactly what it means. Is USCIS really looking at your file when they email saying they will respond to you shortly? I don't work there, so I would believe that they will, because if they respond to your email or respond to your request, then they must have looked at your file. Can my nephew file an I-130 45 together for his mom who is here in the U.S. visiting? As long as your nephew is at least 21 years old and he's a citizen, and his mother came in legally with a legal visitor visa, I don't see why not. Thank you, Ms. Ladapo. If I come with ESTA visa, well, ESTA is not a visa, but you come in ESTA and overstay for 5 years, you might still have options how to be legal. Whether you have options may most likely have to do it if you get married to a citizen, or if you got anything humanitarian that you can be eligible for. Other than that, it's going to be hard to find it because that's a violation of the ESTA itself. Okay, so I think we got thank you. 17 years isn't. Yeah, that's the reality. They're working on cases received in 2007. That's the reality for siblings of citizens. And you think that's a sibling of a citizen, yeah, but that's the longest. That's the category with the longest wait, F4. How long does it take a green card holder to get approval for filing for a spouse? I think they're averaging about 2 years or more now. It's really ridiculous. And that's, keeping in mind, this is still under Biden administration. Hopefully it doesn't get worse. But spouses of green card holders is just taking that. That's the standalone petition. Okay, so my asylum case has been pending since 2020. No interview date yet. What can be done? If you've got any reason to ask them to expedite your interview, it's got to be very specific grounds. Then that's something you can explore. How soon can I get my work permit after getting prima facie determination? One has nothing to do with the other, so one doesn't determine how long it's going to take to get the work permit. Can I expedite my siblings' I-130? Has waited for visa allocation from NVC. So you're not expediting the I-130. You're trying to expedite the interview process. Omar Agbede, is Agbede? I don't know if it's Agbede or Agbede. One of the two. Sorry, I don't want to murder your name. But if your siblings are the NVC, that's not the I-130 that's being expedited. You're trying to get them an interview date earlier. I'm guessing that's what you mean. Okay. Daryl, I would have answered your question, but it was very simple instruction. Do not repeat questions. And so you put your question 7 times, so it's going to be skipped. Correct interview. You can. It just depends on what is going to be the basis for you to ask them to expedite the interview. So, but interviews you can always make a request to expedite your interview. Okay. All right, people. I think we got through all questions. I think so. I think so. It's Daily COG. Thank you. At least if you're in positive to answering questions or position with blessing through and through. Thank you. 𝒊𝒎𝒏𝒈𝒂𝒏𝒕. 𝒊𝒎𝒎🂄🂏. I honestly don't know how you do it. Being here for us every week is a blessing to have someone who knows what she does, fighting, encouraging, up for money, but really. No, I'm a Leo baby. We appear very strong, but we're very, very emotional people. So, like I said, it's been a tough week. But I thank you all. 𝒊𝒎𝒏𝒈𝒂🏐. It is a labor of love, which I truly love, should be told. Okay, I think my attorney filed an I-765 and I-360, but no I-485, 10 months now, and no EAD, cannot file I-485 now. So there are, let me explain to you why that may be the case, because I do that sometimes, and I'm not sure it's if you've got an attorney, because I'll tell you this, people. When people come to me and they say, "Hey, Sister Lloyd, I want to change over to your firm. My attorney is not doing this A, B, and C," there's going to be someone also that I represent is going to say the same thing about me to somebody else, and that's just the truth. People, if something is not going someone's way, for the most part, it's easier to blame somebody else. So I'm usually very weary of people like that, and that's why I turn down a lot of cases that they already started with someone, unless somebody, the attorney, just really dropped the ball on something. So if you're in doubt about why your attorney did something, the best thing you can do, first of all, is to ask them what was the thought process or the analysis why they did that. In a case where you found an I-360 and I-765, the I-765 is definitely going to be, if there's no pending I-485, it's definitely going to be a C-31E work permit. You don't necessarily have to file a 765 separately. I do that just for the sake of it, because the I-360 already says that upon approval, do you want a work permit? And if you check yes, they'll send you a work permit. And so once that gets approved, you get an automatic work permit. If you have a 765, you file at the same time, then you get another C-31 work permit, just like what happened in Miss Sanctuary's case. And many people that I represent, because why not? Oh, well, government's next. You can't sell with taxes. Why? The more the merrier. Please give us all the work permits. That's usually what happens if there is no pending I-485. That work permit that is filed based on the I-360, you're not going to get it until the VAR case has been approved. And we're talking 41 months. So do yourself, Team Mac, do yourself a favor and ask your lawyer what the thought process was and the reason for filing and what category they filed. Like everyone in my clients will tell you, if I represented you, we stand on your case, you would within 48 hours, without fail, unless rupture has happened and we just didn't know or something, you would always get a link to download a complete copy of your file. That's why there's no client that I represent that's going to sound like, it's enough for me to file me. It's not, because I have the email that I will send to you in less than 2 seconds to show that you will actually send you the email to download a copy of your file with specific instructions that you have to download it within 7 days or the link is going to expire. So you should have gotten a copy of your file. And every single time that we get notices and all that, clients get copies because it is your case. You need to know what's going on. My point in that is this: if your attorney has given you your file copy, look through it and see what was filed. If you do not understand, then talk to the lawyer. If the lawyer filed a C9 category work permit and you are sure there's no I-485, then obviously they're not going to grant that. But there's also the possibility that you had a regular marriage case that was initially filed, and the lawyer probably told USCIS to hold your I-485 in abeyance. I don't know if that's the case, but that may be the case. If you have a pending case before and your I-485 from that case was transferred to the VAR case, then the I-765 is still going to be based on that I-485 you filed initially without the need to file a new one. In a nutshell, sit down with your lawyer and figure out why they filed what they filed so that you're not filing something that you don't need to file. It's very simple. Okay. I filed for VAWA back in June. They requested background check for the last 3 years, which they acknowledged that they received. They have not received a prima facie as of yet. Is this waiting time normal? So if you filed it back in, you're welcome. If you filed it back in June, that was what? When did they send you the RFE? When did they send you the RFE? Hello, finance Shandy. 𝒊𝒎𝒏𝒕. I-140 base perm employment with my I-45 priority dates. With my I-45 priority date, the day perm was submitted on day I-1. The day your perm was submitted is your priority date. How long does it take to make a decision for appeal cases? I don't know. That's very case specific. A lot to head to 2021. You didn't have to repeat your question. I just answered your question. Okay. Will not having proof of residency alone get case denied, even if I have all documents for VAWA? If you have all documents for VAWA, then you should have proof of shared residency. Keep in mind, you can use proof of evidence of shared residency from before you got married. That's also possible there. My baby is home. Hey, baby. Cannot fight for a withdrawal case for a marriage-based case if both application and petition both say they didn't submit a withdrawal letter. Okay, can you fight a withdrawal case if so? I take USCI says you withdrew your case and you said and your spouse is saying they didn't withdraw it. Well, the I-45 is not going to be a withdrawal. That's not the application. The I-45 was just going to be denied because the petition says withdrawn. If the I-130 has now been denied because they said they acknowledge your withdrawal, there's nothing you can fight. Once it's withdrawn, there's nothing you can do. You can try during the if your spouse is really sure, because so I've heard that happen. And when I told them that they consulted with me and I said, hey, okay, then let's do this, and she was like, well, I want to talk to my spouse first. We'll contact you. Come to find out when she found that there was a way we can get the records. She owned up and said, yes, she actually did withdraw the case. So you just never know. Not saying your spouse is lying, but I'm just saying you want to have a very, very deep conversation before because you can do an ombudsman inquiry. You can do a FOIA request of the records. And if someone had requested for them to withdraw it, it would be in your file. So anyway. Can my aunt file an asylum after being here for 5 years? She came in legally. If she 5 years, as long as she has, that's going to be a tough one. But she has to have, she has to have a reason that falls within the exemption why she didn't file within the first year of entry. All right, people. So let's make sure that we talk to our lawyer. Let's talk to our lawyer. My main mode of communication is email. My clients know that before you retain my services is in the email that I send you, so you know. I cannot be productive being on the phone with people. If we need to have a phone call, we're going to have to schedule that. So everyone has their system. So the main thing is just to communicate with the client. That's just important to be able to communicate with the client to know what's going on. So I say all that to say this: don't be afraid to. Hey, kiddo, where's your face? What happened with the varsity game? Y'all win that one? Yeah. So which of the ones did y'all win tonight? The girls won? What, the JV and varsity girls won? And the boys y'all just went to play? Okay. See, girls can better than boys. Just saying. They received the RFE response from my VAWA in September, which was 2 months ago. Give it time. Hopefully by next month they'll send you your prima facie determination. I sent out 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓 response since February. No update on case tracker. Not even that the documents were received. Is there anything to do besides wait? If your case is outside normal person time, you can reach out to them. You can reach out to your congressman or woman or senator and ask them to help you look into your find out what's going on or get a status on your case. So usually they would have to respond to your senators and give them an update. But what I was saying is communication is key. Let's talk to our attorneys. We're a team. We're working together for a common goal. So your attorney is not against you. Your attorney is for you. And so, and I understand sometimes there can be breakdown in communication. And that's understandable. But it's always best to try to have to be on common ground because you have a common goal. And so we don't need to be against one another. We need to be for one another in working together. I'm grateful that we're able to answer questions. I'm grateful that you guys come in each evening on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because this is your time as well that we come together. So thank you for that. And let's just keep doing this work. There's nothing that is impending that God hasn't already taken care of for us. So consider it has been settled. Because it's been settled in heaven, it has been settled on earth. There's nothing any human is going to do that's going to derail that which God has planned for us. It's impossible. The Bible is very clear. The plans I have for you are not for evil, but of good. I wear it as a badge each day on my auntie in tattoo. Yes, Jeremiah 29:11. It's a reminder for me in days that I've okay, something's not good. This is not going as I planned. And I look in the mirror and okay, that's my daily reminder, because I wear it as a badge, because I know that he is. The Bible says it's impossible for God. God is not man that he should lie. It's impossible for him to fail. There's nothing that he has spoken that's going to return to him void. And if he has spoken it, that he's got plans to give you an expected end, and you haven't seen that expected end, there's nothing that anyone is going to come in to now change. You're going to have that expected end. So let's just keep believing that expected end that he has promised us, he shall fulfill it, because he is not man that he should lie. I will see you guys next week. Y'all have a wonderful weekend.